Hello, and thank you for tuning in and watching this Zoom interview with a very special guest. If we haven't met before, my name is Tanja Lee. I am the CEO for the ALCHEMIC Way. We're a personal and professional development business completely devoted to empowering real estate leaders and teams around the world to fulfill their potential in the least amount of time. And someone that has been devoting at least 25 years of their young life to doing exactly the same is joining me in this interview. Now, she has, as I said, 25 years experience, is a multi-award winning industry thought leader, has been recognized by Elite Agent magazine in 2017, 18, 19 and 2022 as one of the top 50 industry influencers. She's not once, but twice been named the REIV Property Manager of the Year. She is the founder and director of Mitchell PT, which is a property management training and event production company, really devoted to helping property managers reach their potential in the least amount of time. She's a mum of kids and kittens. Drum roll, please, for the divine friend of ours, Hayley Mitchell. How are you, Hayley?
I'm good. Thank you so much. What a great introduction.
You're very welcome. You're very easy to introduce because you're well, we were talking before shooting that you're more known certainly in Victoria than nationally potentially, but that's all about to change because you, my friend, are doing a national tour with a ridiculously fabulous event called PM Reach, and that's why we're here. So thank you for joining us. Thanks again for your partnership. The whole intention of this conversation is to let people know who you are, what PM Reach is, and what to expect and how to get involved. But Hayley, if it's okay, before we share the who, where, why, what, and how, let's share who this conversation is for. Because if you're watching this and you are a property manager who has or is navigating the stress and strains of the role from a mental health, wellness, and resilience perspective, or you are a director and you have a rent roll and you have a PM team and you're wanting to preserve, conserve, and retain great talent, because according to the recent Voices of the Property Manager report done by MRI, it says that when a property manager leaves a business, it literally is like removing 19 properties from your rent roll as far as the value that they bring. So we want to make sure we can help leaders retain great talent and keep great talent and even become a recruitment attraction agency. So this is who this conversation is for. PMs that are struggling and want greater access to a better work-life integration and fulfillment in their role, and leaders that really want to keep great people and help them thrive in their role. So Hayley, tell us to open with, what is PM Reach?
PM Reach is totally different than your normal conference. You're not going to learn about how to do a routine inspection, how to sign up new business, nothing about the actual role of real estate or property management. It's all about the people in the industry and how we can help them. So
there's no legislation, compliance,
no,
any of that stuff. It's
none of the boring
about property man. Boring stuff, did you say? Yeah, nothing boring but necessary.
It is. Yep.
But yeah, so this is all about the individual, absolutely transforming their wellness, their mental health, and their level of resilience in the role. It's super important, particularly as we're recording this conversation at the end of Jan 2023. There's a lot of discussion about the great resignation in industry, and property management is not immune to it. In fact, according to the IBIS World Report, property management is a $6 billion business in Australia. It employs around 40,000 professionals. And according to the MRI Voice of the Property Manager report, at least 23% are looking to have a change of role or leave the industry. And the main reasons, 60% of them said dealing with aggressive and abusive people is the biggest challenge. Wanting flexible working conditions is a challenge, mental health and stress. The real things that are impacting the happiness and fulfillment, well-being and retention of great talent today. And so you've thought, okay, well, we've done this event before in Victoria 3 times. It's been very successful. As far as attendance and partnership, and one of the things I love being a speaker at those events is these jars. So I've done 3 gigs.
Yeah.
So my friends watching this is gratitude jars. This is what Hayley does for all of her speakers at events. There's at the back of the room a little jar with our name on it. And when we speak, she invites the participants to just write any reflections or feedback or comments. And, if I'm ever having a bad day, I just need to stick my hands in these jars of love. But these comments are full of, this is one of the best events of my life. This content changed my world. Tell us, Hayley, you know more than anyone what's in these jars because you've done it for 3 years. What inspired PM Reach?
I think the industry needs it. Like when I look at all the events that people run, and there's brilliant events out there, there's not one event where, when we created it, there wasn't one event that just focused on you. And I think it's the one thing that's just particularly now needed around the industry, with exactly what you're talking about before, with all the stats about people wanting to leave the industry. And I see it when I see it on the Facebook communities. I see it when I go into offices, that people are really tired and they're burnt out. And I've noticed it this year. People had a break, those that could, but they haven't come back firing on all cylinders. Like
their batteries are still empty, and they've got a whole other year to face ahead.
Exactly. They're already tired, and they're trying to catch up on last year, and we're trying to get into the new normal of working, and everything's kind of going back to normal, whatever the new normal is. So I think it's just a really challenging time for everyone. So when I decided to go, okay, Victoria has been great, but let's branch it out. I want to go interstate. This is the one conference that I knew I wanted to take interstate.
Yeah, and being a speaker at the 3 that you've already done in Victoria, across Marysville, Ballarat or Creswick, and then Healesville, there is nothing like it that I've seen, and I've been kind of around for at least 90 years in the space, and it is one of our favorite events to be part of, because it is all about investing in the well-being, mental health, and levels of resilience of property managers. So the event itself, it typically kicks off as a networking event on the Wednesday night prior, and then you've got a morning session. Dr. Matt is particularly running for the tour this time round what's called 6 Healing Sounds, which is a beautiful medical qigong, which is a great practice to center yourself, reduce stress, tonify internal organs, and disperse negative energy even before you start day 1 at PM Reach, which is awesome. And then kicking off on day 1, which is always a Thursday and a Friday, the 2-day conference, you've got Sadhana Smiles.
Yep, I do.
And you've got and what's Sadhana talking about in her first session?
Oh, it's a secret.
It's a secret, so we can't tell you. You have to be there. And then you've got Tara Bradley, who's doing her really insightful, vulnerable, real raw share that had people queuing up to give her a hug and share themselves with her last time I saw her speak.
Yeah.
That was one of your favourite sessions in the Healesville gig.
Yeah, it was funny when I first spoke to Tara and I said, I want you to do this. And she goes, I'll just tell you a bit about my business and why we're successful. I go, no. And she's like, okay, what am I talking about? I said, you. And she's like, oh. And she nailed it. Like, she just so vulnerable and just shared so much. It was an incredible story.
And she really speaks about her experience of burnout and the impacts on herself personally and professionally, and the lessons that's taught her, and what she's done to flip the script and now step into a space of real empowerment and purpose and progress, which is very insightful for all of us to learn from. Then we break for morning tea, and I come in for my session 1, which is all about definition is decisive. And if you are a property manager or a leader of property managers watching this conversation, this is where we take you or your property managers under the hood of their subconscious mind to look at what are the 5 handbrakes hindering their potential being fulfilled. Just that session alone is completely life-changing, because they're going to realize something that they don't currently realize, because you cannot transform what you can't see. And the thing with a lot of training, Hayley, as you would know, you do a lot and you've been to a lot of it is content people give you. Here's some insights and tools and resources and strategies. our philosophy, which is all good,
Mm.
but our philosophy on strategies is strategies on top of a disempowered belief system is like icing over a poo pie, meaning they're ineffective. You're not going to use the strategies, or you won't use them as consistently as you need to if you don't have self-love, self-assurance, self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, or you don't believe in yourself or your abilities, or you don't believe in the industry or your role as a property manager or as a leader if you don't believe in your people. So we're going to flip the script of that. And this whole 2 days is not so much about teaching you more things. It's also about taking away the things that you do either consciously or unconsciously that don't serve you, both personally and professionally. Now, I'm curious, Hayley, you've had us be part of this gig for 3 times now. And I've said to you when you ask us, I'm like, people are going to get sick of us. And you're like, no, actually, people really enjoy what you have to say, which we're grateful for. And, but why, what is it, what's been your experience of the content we share? Because it is unlike anything else that's out there from a NLP or mindset perspective. Why do you keep inviting us back?
I love you guys, but
we love you, right? We love you too. But what I ask this not for our benefit, for the benefit of the viewers, because we love being invited back. Why do you believe that the message that we and your fellow speakers have to share is an important one? Like, what specifically about this content matters?
So, PM Reach, it was the second one. So the one in Creswick in Ballarat, and it was your session, and it changed my life. And I've told you that many times, because I was at a crossroads where I wasn't in a great personal space or professional space, and my head wasn't right. And I remember doing part of one of your sessions where I had to unpack some things and oh yes, and I was there with my bestie Emily, and we both cried. And at the end of that session, I just knew I had to make changes, and I have. And the last 2 years has been, let's say, a challenge, but definitely in the happy zone now. And the last sort of 6 months, I think I've really been like, I feel like I'm me again, and that's been a really big journey. But I honestly think I can pinpoint the moment. And I know that sounds really silly, but
no, it doesn't. But this is the reason I ask is, there's a lot of choices, there's a lot of gigs, there's a lot of events, and how do you choose what to go for if you've got limited time? And no doubt all of the events that everyone's producing is worthwhile and meaningful. You got to, go where where you feel is going to be the greatest return on your investment, especially if you're a director investing in your team to go. The difference, though, is there's practical magic shared in these events where you work on yourself in the room. They're not concepts that you can take home and make time, which we know you don't often do. After an event, you are literally deconstructing yourself in the room, in the space, and the work's done at the conference, and you are potentially forever changed. And as you said, Hayley, you got into action immediately after that. It wasn't like you sat back and contemplated and pondered and wondered. May I ask, what shifted in you to have you get into immediate action that made change? Granted, challenging change, but you just didn't sort of have that be your reality anymore. What created the sense of urgency for you?
I think I was very good at being busy. And busy is safe. So after that moment, I had to sit back and stop being busy and actually think, where am I? Where do I want to be? Make a plan, really understand what was holding me back. And I think it was just that realization of, if you can't be everything you want to be for everyone.
And you've mentioned to me before, you felt that you, like many property managers, were sitting in that space of being a people pleaser and naturally putting everyone else and everyone else's needs before your own. We see that generally a lot. You've been in the game for 25 years. I've been in real estate, in property, for only a short 9. Still a rookie, still learning, but I absolutely know there's a tendency for property managers to be hardwired as people pleasers.
Yes.
They tend to put themselves last,
Mhm.
which has an impact. And they are often overworked and working with multiple personalities and unrealistic time frames with, in some cases, a lack of flexibility. So the feedback that we've got, certainly 3 jars full, is that they get at PM Reach practical insight, tools, resources, and work to do in the conference on themselves that moves the needle immediately. So there's immediate shifts. And you also, you tend to partner with really great brands who also are devoted to saving property managers and agencies a lot of time. So they can then reinvest their focus back in people and the relationships with which nurture the rent roll. You want to just do a little shout out? And I know, having worked with you, Hayley, you choose people by choice, not by chance, and you only choose to partner with peeps that sing from the same hymn book or beat from the same drum. So just let's give a shout out to these partners who don't just believe in the vision. They support you in making people aware of it and partnering you in helping people reach their potential. So who have you chosen to play with, and who's going to be joining us on the national tour?
The tour's going to be fun because the partners I've worked with for a very long time, and they've become friends because we're on the road a lot. Really excited to catch up with them all. So we've got BYB Investors who have been partnered with me for a few years now, and they just provide an excellent product for property managers to ensure that properties are meeting those minimum standards, particularly in Victoria, where it's tough. We've got the team from Inspection Express, who I absolutely love, Kelly
and the crew.
Oh, they've been a supporter, and Jeremiah, they've been supporters of mine for years and years and years. And I use their products in my business. So although I am a trainer and I've got I can't remember what you call my events production company. I love that before.
Oh, you do produce events. Just saying.
We do a lot. I've also got a rent roll. So I'm actually signing up another one today. So there you go.
Go you.
And we use Inspection Express throughout our business. So we use
there's a lot of people in the industry that do Australia.
Everyone knows them. MCG Quantity Surveyors, so they've been with us for just a little while, but I've used their product for years and years, and they're great, Marty and the team. Check Right, which is a new company which I am on the advisory board, so I'm really excited about the opportunity there.
So how long have you been on the advisory board for?
Only a couple of months. So it's a startup. So it's it's fun in startup mode because you can mold it to how you want it.
Yeah, love that.
Colmio, who have a fantastic software product, and working with them at the moment, meeting up with Matt and the team later this week, I think. Kristen from Ono Legal, so she's done a lot of my legal work, and she's amazing. She's actually, her family's always been in real estate, so she just knows it. So a lawyer that knows real estate, and she's not a typical lawyer, so I love her.
She's not a typical lawyer, so I love her. No, just shout out to all the typical lawyers that we also love out there.
Sorry. Bricks and Agents, so they're a fantastic product. It will save property managers so much time and just take away the headache of that maintenance piece, because maintenance is one of the biggest issues in property management. Rental Heroes, so Alex the chatbot, Leanne and the team are fantastic, and they've done really big support for us as well. We've got our friends at Property Insurance Plus, and also our friends at MyConnect, who have been with us since day one. Those two companies have been with us for years and years and years, and they're just a huge supporter, and they give back a lot to the industry.
They do. And they're really good people, like big-hearted people. And every time I've been a speaker at your events and we go into the exhibition hall and say g'day to these folks, that they are all genuinely excited to be there. So in full transparency, yes, this is a commercial event. It's not a charity. We need partners to be able to come together. It takes a village to raise a child. Well, it takes an organization to change the lives of a property manager, and they absolutely deserve it. So big shout out to the partners. And as I said, you're doing something you've never done before, which is taking the event on an Australian tour. Sound like a true rock star. So it's always a Wednesday night networking event, and an opportunity to have a little bevy with and meet some new friends and potential speakers and partners.
Yep.
And we kick off with the 6 Healing Sounds Qigong class with Dr. Matt. Then we've got 2 full days of content, which is always a Thursday, Friday. So you've got the Hunter Valley coming up on the 23rd and 24th
So
of
excited.
February at the beautiful Crown Plaza.
Yep.
So if you're in New South Wales and you're in property management, or you're a leader of a team in property management, please, you can book individual tickets. You can book a whole table for your team. If you're a franchise and you've got multiple offices, you can get a shared table and have a collection of PMs from different locations. You know, this is one conversation you don't want them to miss, because they will walk away with proven insight, tools, resources, and strategies that can be immediately implemented to shift the needle in their mindset, well-being, and level of resilience. And we'll talk more about that. So that's the 23rd and 24th in Hunter Valley.
Yes.
Then we head to the second last one for this financial year, which is the 18th and 19th of May in sunny Hobart.
Yes.
At the RACV Club. You like to throw a bash at the RACV Club. Always great venues.
It's
yeah,
beautiful.
really awesome.
Yeah, and it's right in the heart of Hobart, so it's just the best location.
So you can also head down to Mona and Salamanca Market after that. And listen, if you were in Victoria and you missed out on the Healesville gig, fly down to Hobart and get some frequent flyer points and have a little vacay.
It's my birthday on the Saturday, so I'll be staying. So if anyone wants to come and party with me on the Saturday,
there you go. And she knows how to party, just saying.
Yeah.
We also then head to Western Australia at the Rendezvous Hotel on the 27th and 28th of July. Then 24th and 25th of August is the beautiful Novotel in Barossa Valley. Some more cheeky wines there in South Australia. And we wrap up the Australian tour on the 7th and 8th of September, I think just before Father's Day, in Sawney, Queensland, at the Island Gold Coast Resort. So beautiful locations. There's no excuse for you to miss an opportunity, because it's in pretty much every major city other than Canberra. And all you need to do, Hayley, is go where?
To pmreach.au. And
so pmreach.au. The dates of the tours are there. The program is there, and we're about to update it because we've added more great content. And there's some bios of the speakers, and also you can check out who the industry partners are.
And don't forget, we're also doing it again in Victoria in October. So we've already booked that, and that will be at RACV in Torquay, but a different lineup of speakers to what we're doing.
Correct.
Interstate. So
have you got can you mention who they are now, or are you still secret sauce stuff? Okay.
Secret sauce stuff. I'm still working on that one.
So another opportunity in Victoria, which is awesome. Okay, cool. So there's at least 5, if not 6 opportunities for you as a property manager to elevate your ability to deal with the challenges. And according to, as I said earlier, the MRI Voice of the Property Manager report, here are some reasons why it's important to attend this event. We know out of the people that were interviewed for the report or completed the survey, over 60% of you said that you really struggle dealing with aggressive and abusive people. Well, we have a special announcement that we're super excited by. We at the ALCHEMIC Way have been writing and recording our very first online Learn As You Go self-paced program called Empowering Property Managers. And the first module is how to deal with aggressive and abusive people. We're launching it with Hayley and the team at Mitchell PT and all the partners at PM Reach in the Hunter Valley. And it will be your opportunity to sit in your pajamas at home with a cup of tea and learn the skills, the interpersonal conflict resolution, interaction management skills to help dissolve and resolve dealing with people that kind of leave you with a lot of funk in your trunk at the end of the day and quite impacted by not having the skills to deal with them. So Hayley, just a big thanks to you for providing the space for us to co-launch this awesome content. So we know that's amazing. A challenge. We also know from the MRI report that 53% of property managers that were surveyed said that every single day they deal with mental health issues and stress. We have Dr. Matt going to be doing the final session for the day, which is beautiful, simple kinesiology and traditional Chinese medicine inspired and TBM inspired techniques to help you reduce stress, get natural energy and immune boosting insights and strategies, improve sleep quality. If you're someone that struggles to get to sleep, or if you wake up during the night, you need to get back to sleep, you're going to learn a simple hack to better healing and greater sleep. And also, we're going to see what percentage of property managers around Australia are in what we call grizzly bear, that sympathetic dominance of fight, flight, free, and freeze, where you feel like a saber-toothed tiger is chasing your tail. It's called your inbox and your phone.
Yeah.
And maintenance requests and tasks in your CRM system. That's the saber-toothed tiger. We're going to help teach you to get out of that state into a parasympathetic dominance, which is rest, digest, and heal. And that's where you can de-stress. So that in itself is a master class of health and well-being.
Yeah.
Again, currently only available at PM Reach. So there's no excuse not to be there. I know, Hayley, you're in the process of looking at getting CPD apportioned to this particular training. And of course, tickets are 100% tax deductible and are an amazing investment, because when a director loses a property manager in the Great Resignation, and we know 23% of you are looking to resign, unfortunately, it costs a director around $100,000 just for that one property manager. And it kind of equates to, according to the research, 19 properties coming off your rent roll. So if you want to protect and retain great talent and you want to keep your rent roll intact, book your ticket to PM Reach and let's help them rise resilient in times of change and challenge, post a global pandemic, when they're dealing with very stressed out rental providers and renters. Hayley, is there anything else that you want to say about why people should come, why leaders should invest in their teams, and also from your own experience being a PM and training them every day?
I'm very active on Facebook, and I see it all the time with people putting up posts about burning out. I see it when I go into offices, I chat to people. It is a real thing, and it's not going away. It's getting worse. So I think we really need to start focusing on the people first. And looking at what we can do to empower them to actually be able to control or handle what is happening with humans at the moment. You know, and look, you see it all the time. You go into cafes and there's signs up saying "Be nice to 12 people." Like,
everywhere.
It blows my mind. So I really want to empower people and train people and help people to actually reach their potential, which is exactly what this event's about. If people do want to help us promote the event, or if you think, gee, I'm going to bring 10 people, please reach out to Jara and she'll be able to do some discounts for you, or create some influencer codes for you. If you can help us sell a certain amount of tickets, then we actually give away free tickets as well to the person who has promoted the event for us. So please reach out, because we just want as many bums on seats as we can get, because we know that we can truly help people.
Yeah, it's all about leverage. There's 2 days to come together. And one of the things that's really obvious and we get in the feedback too, Hayley, is one of the fabulous takeaways is that property managers get to experience, and this is about to become very real as you go on a national tour, they get to experience that they're not alone. They get to experience that the things that they're feeling, the stress and the desires for greater work-life blend and the challenges of the day-to-day, you know, grit and grind, is not just an individual you're not coping thing. It is, there's a whole, you know, hundreds of thousands of people around the world dealing with this, and then there's an individual like Hayley going, you know what, let's be part of the solution. So you know, if you also want to make new friends in the industry, even though they're from your competition, you're going to see that there's no chest beating, no ego, no room for ego here. It's one of the greatest events in our industry, where we can just come together, as you said, Hayley, as humans, and support each other to grow. And so on that note, I just want to say on behalf of property managers and principals and the industry, and also rental providers and renters who get the benefit of an empowered property manager, thank you, Hayley, for your courage. Thank you for doing the work to pay the deposits for the venues and deposits for people like me and speakers, and then booking the flights and promoting the event and getting the catering at great locations sorted with amazing partners. Because there's one thing to talk about, what we need to do, and there's another thing to take money out of your bank account because you're a single mother of kids and kittens, and you are putting yourself on the line in service of our industry, and that's no small thing. I acknowledge you deeply, and just couldn't think of a nicer person to partner in this particular project with. So thank you, Hayley and Jara and the team at Mitchell PT and Partners for what you're doing in advance to positively helping change the lives of property managers around our country.
Thank you. Yeah, that means a lot. Thank you so much.
You're really welcome. So, my friends, if you're a property manager ready to invest in yourself and your life in 23 and beyond, please head to pmreach.au. Is that the right URL?
.com.au comes to us as well. So
yeah, okay, great. Or pmreach.com.au. And if you're a leader, you cannot afford to lose great people. Not only for your own business value, but for the value of the humans you're responsible for empowering to live a great life by virtue of working on your watch and being in your brand. So we'd love you to book a table for your team. So thank you, Hayley, for your time. Please find out more about PM Reach by going to pmreach.au or .com.au. And if you've got any questions, Hayley, how can they get in contact with you and your crew?
The best way is via email, so hello@mitchellpt.au, and that will come through to Jara, and she can answer any questions that you have. She's amazing.
Amazing. Hunter Valley, 23rd, 24th of February. Hobart, 18, 19 of May. Western Australia, 27, 28 of July. South Australia, 24th, 25th of August. We've got Victoria in October. Dates and venue coming. And in sunny Queensland, just before Father's Day, 7th and 8th of September at the Island Gold Coast Resort. There's no excuse. We're coming in the tour bus at a city near you. Get ready to reach your potential in the least amount of time with some big, brave-hearted people, partners, and leaders like Hayley, Jara, and the team at Mitchell PT. We'll see you soon. Thank you so much once again, Hayley. Love your work.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye.